Hello stock gurus and welcome to another episode. Today is Thursday, the 25th of March. We've got another day in the market, but today we're going to be looking at Bitcoin. I'm going to do technical analysis on Bitcoin for the monthly charts, the weekly charts, and the daily charts. And we're going to try and predict the movements for Bitcoin going in the next few years, the next few months, the next few weeks, and for today, what's going to happen to the price of Bitcoin. We're at a kind of important point for Bitcoin. If it's not holding the support lines and moving up, I've got 3 exact targets. So watch through to the end to see what my targets are for Bitcoin. I'm going to also make videos today, a technical analysis on Tesla, and I'm going to make an in-depth analysis and fundamental analysis on Apple. So check out those videos. Hit the subscribe button, the bell, the thumbs up button. We're very close to, we're around 39,200 subscribers right now, 39,200 investors, and we're just about to hit 40,000. If you've been following this channel for the last 11 months, you know I've been making nearly daily videos on stocks, investment, Bitcoin, Ethereum. And if you've been following this channel, you're up quite a lot. Bitcoin was $9,000 when I started covering this, Ethereum around $700 on this channel. We made videos saying buy and many other amazing stocks. Twitter we're buying at $28, now more than $70, and just many other amazing companies. I want to address, someone in the comments asked me, why am I charging money for my course and why don't I give it away for free? The reason is I'm already a retired multimillionaire. I already have more than 10 sources of income. This YouTube channel being one of them, the stock course being another one, the membership chat being another one. I have other e-commerce websites. I have another very big YouTube channel also, and many other sources of income. The reason that I charge money for my course, $333. One, I really like that number. I chose it because it's very powerful and kind of just a number I really resonate with. I just love the number. 2, if you pay money for the course, you're going to take it and you're going to really ingrain this knowledge. And my course, this knowledge is worth billions of dollars. Combined, my students have made more than $1 billion in the stock market. Another reason I don't give away my course for free, it's devaluing my knowledge and my worth. This is 17 years worth of knowledge that I've experienced. I've been investing in the stock market for 17 years. I was an early investor in some of the cryptocurrencies, and this, to give it away for free would be just devaluing and unappreciative of my knowledge. And this is a mindset I want to point out. This is a mindset of lack, a lack of abundance, lack of money. Don't do anything for free. You're worth a lot of money, so charge that money for your time. Do not lower yourself. Do not make your value $5 an hour or $10 an hour. Just automatically, I charge $100,000 an hour to my clients that ask for my personal evaluation or kind of creation of their portfolios. I charge $100,000 an hour. So really value your time. What you value your time is what people are going to pay you. And 1, I'm already retired, and 2, I really value my time. Because I have a lot of money, I don't have to do things for money, so my time is doing whatever I want. So when people ask me to do things, that's why I charge for the course. And the idea of that comment, that lady asking me, why don't I give my course for free, is kind of, it's coming from a place of lack mindset, a lack of money, because money is a beautiful thing, and you should expect that you charge money for your time, expect to charge money for your products or things that you give or things that help people. It's a good thing that you charge money. Money is an appreciative value for the time and effort that you put into your things. And my 17 years of investing in the stock market and the pains and sufferings that you'll save by learning the Stock Guru Master course is worth much more than $333. It's worth millions. And again, combined, my students have made more than $1 billion. I've made many multimillionaires and many millionaires. So don't ever value anything that you do, and just the idea that you shouldn't pay for things, or you should. I really want you to change your mindset, everyone, when it comes to money. Be thankful to pay for things. Don't come from a place of, I want a discount or I can't afford. Don't. Stop. Throw those thoughts away. Replace them with, I am very thankful to pay top dollar for this thing. I'm paying for quality. I'm paying for something beautiful. I'm glad to pay it, and I'm getting what I'm paying for returned in information, in knowledge, in a car, in a product. Be thankful to pay your bills. Be thankful to give people money. Be thankful that you have to pay for something. Don't come from this mindset of lack, that I can't afford this or something like this, and that I need to hold this small amount of money that I have or big amount and not distribute it, not pay for things. That's a mindset of lack. Money is infinite. It's just abundant as air, as abundant as water. They printed $6 trillion of it in the last year. So really have a mindset of abundance, and then you'll see your world change. Your mindset has to be of abundance first internally, and then externally you're going to have a mindset of abundance. And that's why I really recommend also joining our chat room. We have a 24/7 chat room, chat.stockguru.us. In that chat room, there's 16 millionaires. Some of my personal friends, multi-millionaires, are in this chat room. I'm in this chat room, and you'll be able to talk to and experience and kind of learn from millionaires and multi-millionaires in that chat room. There's 130 something members in there, 16 millionaires and 6 multimillionaires that we know of. So come in and join us. You can see reviews from some of the students, and that's why I really want people to pay for this course. One, to appreciate my knowledge. Two, to pay for it and really kind of follow through and do the course and learn the knowledge. And they will do that once they pay this money for the course. I've had tens of thousands of students take this course and learn this knowledge, and I want you to join us as well. We're also going to look at, it's purely going to be technicals on Bitcoin, trying to predict it, but I also have a little surprise. I'm going to try and predict when Bitcoin will hit $1 million, and I have an exact date and year for that target. So watch through to the end to see when I think Bitcoin will be hitting $1 million per Bitcoin, which will be beautiful. In my theory, if you've been following me on Twitter since 2009, we're talking about Bitcoin Plus around 2012. If you've been following me on Twitter, you know my targets originally, there was either two options for Bitcoin. One, it's going to be hacked, the Bitcoin network. I'm one of the original Bitcoin kind of people that are in this kind of space. It's either going to be hacked and worth zero, or it's going to be worth millions of dollars per Bitcoin. There's only two options. And it seems my theory has been playing out. If you've been following me since back then, Bitcoin was just a few $100s. If you've been following this channel since August last year, Bitcoin was $9,000 when I said urgently buy Bitcoin before the run up. If you've been following this channel in January, even this year, Bitcoin was $30,000. And my theory has played out. We went from a few $100s to now more than $52,000 a Bitcoin. And my theory is still in play. It is going to be $1 million a Bitcoin, and I've got an exact target. So watch through to the end of the video to see that. So thank you for watching. Let's jump into the technical analysis for Bitcoin now. So now we're jumping into the technical analysis for Bitcoin, and we're going to try and predict when Bitcoin is going to be hitting $1 million per Bitcoin. So this is the entire history of Bitcoin that you're looking here on the charts. So this is the price movement of Bitcoin since 2014, when Bitcoin was sitting at $550 in 2014. The low actually in 2014 was $100 a Bitcoin. In 2014, Bitcoin was $100 a Bitcoin. I was actually, if you followed me on Twitter, we were talking about Bitcoin a lot back then, so big congratulations. If you've been following this channel on YouTube, we were buying Bitcoin. I made videos buy Bitcoin at $9,000 there. So you're already up around 9,000 to 52,000. Bitcoin had quite a big drop the last day, around a $4,000 drop. But still 9,000 to 52,000, you're still sitting at a profit of around $43,000 if you followed these videos in August. If you followed these videos in January at 30,000, you're still up around 22,000, which is beautiful. Now, we're going to try and predict here what the price of when Bitcoin hits $1 million a Bitcoin. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to use some parabolic lines that Bitcoin is currently on. So this is the price movement of Bitcoin over time. This is going into 2022, 2024. So here was the 2018, 2017 big bull market where Bitcoin went to $20,000. Everyone remembers that. A lot of the mom and dad retailers got burnt because they followed the FOMO and they got into Bitcoin just before Bitcoin hit 20,000, then crashed all the way back down. So that created a lot of pain for a lot of retail people. Then Bitcoin went down to a $3,000 low. Then in August, $9,000 said buy Bitcoin. And then we had this big explosive run up. Why I'm very bullish Bitcoin still, even with this run up from the 9,000 to now sitting at 52,000, is Bitcoin was the volume in 2018, 2017. This is the volume, and it's huge. Volume currently is this volume. So this was 2017-18 December when Bitcoin had that big run, and look at the volume that came in, and we had that spike up from $1,000 to $20,000 with this much volume. And this is the volume we have right now. So what is volume? If you were to sell me your Bitcoin and I was to buy them from you, that's a trade. Trading is volume. So the number of trades is, and the amount of the value of the trades is the volume that's coming into the stock. So here we had huge number of trades and huge volume of trades. Value of stock, huge numbers of trades were occurring back in 2018 on December 2017, 18, January 18. 2018. So this was that huge volume coming in. A lot of mums and dads started buying Bitcoin. We had this run from 1,000 to 20,000, crashing back down to 3,000. Then this mega run to 52,000. It just happened now. And this is the volume that's happened on that this $52,000. This is the volume that happened to get it there. So as you can see, there's a big discrepancy here. That was the volume in 2018 when we got to 20,000. This is the volume now when we're sitting at 52,000. So what is that telling me? It's telling me here, this big run up from 9,000 when I made those videos in August to now 52,000 is mostly institutional buyers, big companies. It's companies like Tesla, it's companies like PayPal, Square, these big companies and billionaires are buying Bitcoin. So there's not big numbers of transactions. They're not having many transactions. Just each transaction, they're buying huge quantities of Bitcoin. And that's why I've got this price go from 9,000 to now sitting at 52,000 in just a few months. And with very little volume, it's because there's huge amounts that they're buying, but very few trades. So volume predicts price, and I believe this volume is just getting started. As the price keeps going up for Bitcoin, the big banks, companies start buying Bitcoin, billionaires, then people are going to FOMO, and it's going to bring in this volume that's going to really spike Bitcoin up into a massive parabolic. RSI and stochastic, this is the monthly candlestick. So each of these candlesticks represent 1 month in the market. So as you can see here on the RSI and the stochastic, now as I teach in the Stock Guru Mastercourse, the link is in the description, pin comment, or www.stockguru.us. And if you purchase the course in the next 6 days, you go in the chance to win 1,000 USD. So one of my students gets the course, one of my students gets 1,000 USD of capital to invest in the stock market. If you've been following my channel for a long time, you know I gave 1,000 on Christmas, 1,000 on New Year's, 5,000 on February 1st. And many, I've been doing this tuitions kind of competitions for a very long time for a lot of students, which is beautiful. So again, if you purchase a Stock Guru Mastercourse, link in description, pin comment, www.stockguru.us. In the next 6 days, you go in the chance to win 1,000 USD. So when the RSI and the stochastic are above the dotted lines, as I teach you in the course, it means this company is very overvalued. So company or asset. In this case, Bitcoin is a currency or an asset. And right now it's very overvalued. The last time the RSI went this high was actually just before the 2017-2018 crash, when the RSI of Bitcoin went to 96 here in December 2017. Now we're currently sitting, the RSI is currently sitting at 90.69. So we've got a little bit, like 6 more points left, but it's almost hitting the extreme high of the RSI when we had that big run up to the 20,000. So whenever that happens, what this means is, as I teach in the Stock Guru Mastercourse, whenever the line is above the dotted lines, the RSI and the stochastic, means this asset or company is overvalued. And that means you do not want to put a lot of capital in one go into this asset or company when it's overvalued. But below the dotted lines, it's a good buying opportunity, good point to be buying and putting a lot of capital, good amount of capital. Above the dotted lines, it means overvalued then not to put a large amount of capital in one go, but to DCA, dollar cost average, split your capital up and invest over time. Now let's zoom into the 1 year and see what's going to happen to Bitcoin going for the next 1 year. And then I'm going to go into daily to see what's going to happen to Bitcoin for the next day. And then we're going to look at Bitcoin and see when the exact date that we're going to try and predict when Bitcoin hits $1 million of Bitcoin. I do believe, as I've been saying, if you've been following me on Twitter since 2015, Bitcoin's either going to be worth millions of dollars per Bitcoin or it gets hacked and it's worth nothing. There is no in between. With Bitcoin, and that's the power of this thing. There's no real in between. It's going to either be worth millions of dollars per Bitcoin or nothing because the network got hacked. So this is the price movement on the daily candles of Bitcoin. Bitcoin moving on this trend line. It's been consistently climbing this trend line since December. This is when we had buy orders for Bitcoin at $30,000 here back in February, because we had the symmetrical triangle. The base of the triangle was the targets for the explosive movement up for Bitcoin from 30,000 to 50,000. Which hit my targets, this yellow line that I had drawn in back in January, February. It hit those targets and then it kept going and it went up from $50,000, which we had the target of, this yellow line, 50,475, which we drew, if you follow those videos, back in January and February. Then it went from there to, it climbed up to 60,000 and it has come back down to 52,000. Now, what is going to happen to Bitcoin for the next few days and months going to March, April, May? That's what we try and predict now. And then we're going to look at zooming closer to see what's going to happen for the next few hours. Then we're going to try and predict what's going to happen to Bitcoin when it's going to hit $1 million. So this is Bitcoin creating kind of a very bullish pattern, actually. It's kind of a bull flag. It's gone up, and here we've got a descending wedge. So descending wedge, the way these work, it travels down, it gets tighter in this wedge, gets tighter, 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 builds pressure, and then explodes, usually with the direction of the trend. The trend is your best friend, and the trend of Bitcoin is massively trending up. The trend is your best friend. Never go against the trend. Always remember this. So your goal is not to try and catch these movements down onto this trend line, for example, here and here, but instead to be dollar cost averaging and buying and going with the overall trend, which is massively trending up for Bitcoin. So it does look like Bitcoin did break below. We had a little triangle that's in play with Bitcoin targets 49,520 but it does look like Bitcoin is now settled underneath this blue triangle. So here we had this descending wedge, and the base of the triangle was the target. So we're expecting Bitcoin to get tight and then explode up, but it actually broke out sooner. And it does look like, so now we're going to try and predict what's going to happen to Bitcoin for the next few months. So we have a few different indicators here. We have moving average crosses. So this was the moving average cross for Bitcoin to come down. This was the moving average cross open on the daily candlesticks. Each of these candlesticks represent one day. And that was that moving average open to start heading up. And that opened at around 50,000, and it's still heading up. It did hit this resistance at 61,750, exactly on our targets, and then came down. And now it's looking like it broke out of this descending wedge. It looks like Bitcoin has broken out of this descending wedge, getting tighter, broken out, and it's heading to the downside. However, we have some bullish indicators also. We have squeeze mobs. It was squeezing here, building pressure before this big explosive movement up, which was to the green side. Now it's been heading down and starting to build pressure again. So it's building pressure, getting ready for a move, but still just building pressure. Stochastic below the dotted line is a good buying opportunity. So here was an opportunity for Bitcoin, a buying opportunity when the stochastic matching here below the dotted lines. And as you can see from there, it went up quite a bit from 50,000 to 61,000. Here was another moving a stochastic underneath the dotted lines, and that was indicating this buy that a lot of the students took on this channel and made them huge money. From 30,000, this stochastic was oversold and heading up from 30,000 to 56,000, which is huge gains, $26,000 gains. And now we're having the same kind of pattern. We're having this moving average, the stochastic, below the dotted lines, and it's starting to turn to start heading up. We have RSI turning to head up. We have a big spike up in volume. Volume predicts price. We have squeeze mob squeezing and building pressure, all bullish indicators. It does look like Bitcoin is trying to find support to then turn to head up with a lot of force. So it does look like to me Bitcoin will do something like this, bounce up, get back on this trend line, get tighter here, and then break out to the $57,000 mark going into the end of March. Am I seeing another pattern? We could adjust, not really. That's the main kind of pattern that we're seeing for Bitcoin. The stochastic is trying to turn to head up, RSI turning to head up, squeeze mob building pressure, volume coming in. So it does look like Bitcoin will be heading up. Where is it going to go? First, we have a resistance here on this blue trend line that it broke underneath before, 53,241. So as Bitcoin comes back up, it has to break this trend line, 53,241. We'll make that into a yellow target, so it's got to break that first target. If it doesn't, if it comes up to there, hits 53,242, bounces off, and then gets held down and then comes down, the major support that we really need Bitcoin to hold will be at 49,225. If it doesn't hold there, there's no real major supports, and it could free fall 49,000 to then 40,000, and then 30,000 is even possible. So we really need Bitcoin to break above this trend line. We want it to get above this 53,242. If we can manage to get up above it, this confirms a bullish movement, and then stochastic RSI turning up, volume will keep coming in, squeeze mob will release, and we have Bitcoin going up to targets. First target, 53,242, which we really need Bitcoin to break. Second target, 56,480. Third target, 57,583. This is going to April and May. So target 1, target 2, 56,000, and then target 3, 57,000. Now let's zoom in one more time. We're going to go even closer, and a big support for Bitcoin was at this 49,225. Now let's go a lot closer. So we're looking at first monthly candlesticks, then daily candlesticks, and now we're looking at 3 months, and we're going to look at hourly candlesticks. So now each of these candlesticks represent 1 hour in the market. In this case, the Bitcoin's market, the price action on Bitcoin. So here we have quite a lot of moving average crosses. And it does look like, actually, it looks like Bitcoin will be heading up today. We have a lot of moving average crosses. We have an open moving average cross heading down, but it is there's a lot of them, so we'll just remove it for now. We can get rid of this blue trend line here. There's too much information. This we can get rid of also. If it does come down, we know where the target is, that red line. So, volume coming in. Volume predicts price. Volume predicts price. Never forget that. Stochastic and RSI were very oversold below the dotted lines here at this point when it dropped down to a low of 51,511. That was the low, that was a good buying opportunity. And since then, it's already gone up to 52,700. Stochastic and RSI are just turning to head up though, to move up. RSI moving up, volume coming in, squeeze mob starting to build pressure to release. So right now it's building pressure for a movement. And usually the movement will be with the overall trend. And Tesla is currently on this time frame trending down. So the movement could actually be breaking down. So let's draw in some targets if it doesn't break down and where it will be going. So for Bitcoin for the next few hours, today's trading day, stochastic RSI oversold, good buying opportunities turning, heading up, volume building pressure ready to go green, squeeze mob building pressure ready to go green, volume, highest volume in a long time, all indications of a buy. So the targets in play for Bitcoin, first target is 53,242, and we really want Bitcoin to get above that price because that will make a new trend that it can follow. So 53,242 is target 1. Target 2 would be this resistance that it hit before Bitcoin, 54,133. And target 3 is this upper resistance that Bitcoin hit up here, 55,822. So those are the targets for Bitcoin. Targets if Bitcoin doesn't hold here and actually drops off. We have one support here at 55,511, which we turn into a red support line. And then we have this blue trend line as a support, which would be sitting at around here, 48,700. Is there any other major supports? There is that support there. Why is that a support line? We have touches there, there are many touches on the line. Another potential support would be here and here because we have a lot of touches there. So we can move this up a little bit. We have a stronger support here. So more than likely Bitcoin, now as we went into the hourly time frames, it gets a lot more volatile on this time frame. Usually you go with the monthly time frame and the daily time frame. The monthly time frame is the one in charge, and that's where the direction of Bitcoin or Tesla, Bitcoin in this case, will be heading. On the monthly candles, it will be heading up in that direction that we saw on the monthly candles. On the hourly candles, we predict, and we're quite accurate on it, but we're trying to predict what's going to happen for the next few hours, but it's a lot more volatile because it's very much affected by news on this time frame. Anything can happen in the next few hours, so that's why we've got to be a little bit more cautious with this. So squeeze mob squeezing, building pressure, stochastic oversold heading up, RSI oversold heading up, volume coming in, target 1, 53,242, target 2, 54,133, and target 3, but it'll be on this blue line, so we need to move this target down a little bit, which would be here, is 55,241. So target 1, 53,242, target 2, and target 3. Those are the targets for Bitcoin for the next few hours going into the 26th of March. 53,242, 54,133, 55,241. Now let's try to find out when Bitcoin is going to be hitting $1 million of Bitcoin. Now, the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to use its current trend line. So these are the trend lines of Bitcoin. As you can see here, let's move this to the upper end. This is 2017, December 2017 run. And this is where we're currently sitting at right now on this trend line, which we'll put there. So that's Bitcoin's kind of upper trend line right now. And if we just follow this trend line, as you can see, Bitcoin is kind of like following along this trend line. So hitting it, coming down, hitting it, coming down. If it just follows here, then we hit Bitcoin hitting $1 million. We need to get rid of some of these yellow lines. Let's turn off this drawing. But it takes off everything. It takes off the blue trend lines also. Okay, we need to remove, let's remove some of these drawings. No, we cannot do that. Okay, I have to remove them manually, so we're going to get rid of these yellow targets, just have the next 3 targets, and just to clean up our chart so we can see this a little bit clearer. 1 second. So now we can see this upper end of the trend line. So this was 2018, that big run up that Bitcoin had. This is currently where Bitcoin's hitting 52,000, and this is the top end of this trend line where it hit 2 times, here and here. So if Bitcoin keeps following this trend line, it reaches by 2020, if it keeps following up this blue trend line, by 2024, November, it hits 100, let's actually put $100,000. It hits by June 2024. It's going to hit nearly $100,000 of Bitcoin by 17th of June if it keeps following up this trend line. Bitcoin hitting $100,000. Then if it keeps following this trend line and it doesn't go up parabolic, by okay, and now we see if Bitcoin stays above this trend line and goes parabolic. So if it goes up onto this upper trend line, so this is the main trend line, and if we stick with this main trend line and it doesn't go parabolic, even though it already has, so our target's actually quite high. If it stays with this trend line and keeps climbing it by 200,000 by 2024 November. But if it goes on this blue parabolic, which it looks like it does, when is Bitcoin going to hit $1 million? We zoom out more. Bitcoin expected, so if it does follow this blue parabolic line that Bitcoin's been on, and it keeps climbing up, it hits $1 million by 2028. We will hit $1 million per Bitcoin if it follows this upper parabolic trend line. And I believe that's quite possible as all the institutions get in, as all the banks get in, as all the big companies like Tesla get in. I believe Bitcoin will go even further parabolic and climb onto the secondary trend line. But if it doesn't, if it just stays on the current parabolic run that is, by 2028, we hit, Bitcoin hits $1 million, which will be here. On 29th of May, 2028, Bitcoin will be hitting $1 million per Bitcoin if it follows this parabolic blue trend line. More than likely, though, we're going to go up onto this upper blue trend line. So more than likely, we'll actually be hitting $1 million Bitcoin earlier. But if we currently sit on the main trend line that it's currently sitting on, this one here, it's $1 million by 2028. Let's try and put the exact target. So if we can assume that it keeps doing this climb with this hill climb, by here, we'll be hitting $1 million of Bitcoin, which is sitting around 25th of September 2028, actually. We'll be very close to hitting $1 million per Bitcoin at this point, if it climbs this, if it keeps climbing this parabolic trend line that it's been on. September 25th, 2028, we hit $1 million per Bitcoin, which is beautiful. If it goes onto that further parabolic line, then we could really get, if it actually gets up above onto this main parabolic line, this new one, then we could be hitting $1 million of Bitcoin by 2026. However, I believe Bitcoin will stay on this main parabolic. It's very possible that it goes onto this upper trend line, but if we were to be conservative and it stays on this kind of trend line that it's currently sitting on, then $1 million by 2028. If it does go parabolic, it could be much sooner. So beautiful. Those are the technicals for Bitcoin. I hope you learned a lot here. That was the predictions for Bitcoin. Again, on today's trading day, it does look like Bitcoin is going to be heading up, and those are my targets as Bitcoin climbs up. Oh, I got rid of them. Let's put them again. So we've got target 1 as Bitcoin keeps climbing, which will be here. 53,840 is target 1. Target 2 would be this middle range, and this is for the next few trading days targets. This will be resistance 56, and then the blue trend line would be the main target that it's going to have a big resistance at 59,379. So target 1, 53,840, target 2, 56,324, target 3, 59,379, and by around 2028, Bitcoin is going to be hitting $1 million of Bitcoin if it stays on that current parabolic trend line by September. So I hope you liked this video. I hope you learned a lot. I'm going to also make an in-depth fundamental analysis on Apple, and I'm going to do technicals on Tesla also. So I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the bell, the thumbs up button so you're notified of these daily videos. I want to also show you our chat room. I'm just going to show you to it. This is our chat room. Crypto is not regulated in Turkey and it's thriving. This Rosie shared it. Reading through this chat this morning in the UK has been an emotional roller coaster. Sorry to hear about Jonas and Johnny. And Riyadh, everyone, Daniel, you are fantastic for this group. I work through market hours until 2-ish in America. Your commentary on support is massive for me. Thank you. I was just looking at a rental property. This is Rosie sharing billionaire Ray Dalio believes that governments are likely to outlaw Bitcoin. To join this chat room, you go to chat.stockguru.us. Now, why should you join this chat room? Chat.stockguru.us. It's $49 a month. In here, we have 126 members. And of those 126 members, we have around 16 millionaires and multi-millionaires. And that's why I really recommend joining this chat room, because you are who you spend your most time with. Here is Dr. Elliot and his wife, Anastasia. They're also millionaires, and he's a dentist. And this is just the last chats during the last 24 hours. This is some villas that I'm looking at purchasing, which will be great investment property, because then they're huge villas and big layouts, but there's 3 next to each other. So if I want building, sorry, not purchasing. If I want, then I can rent them out when I'm gone. And if I'm here with family and friends, they can have their own villas and not annoy me so much, which will be beautiful. This is Johnny talking, Daniel thanking us. This group that James created is powerful, and it's more than just investing or trying to make money trading. All the people that stick with this through the downturns are going to come up so strong in time for it. This is be incredible. I already know this group is like family, and it's such a beautiful group of people that are in here. We have doctors, lawyers, dentists, amazing group of people. And this is just the last 24 hours of chats, us talking during market hours, sharing articles, sharing charts, sharing potential buys, sharing motorbikes. Jonas's motorbike, and this is our chats. So join us again, chat.stockguru.us, and you are who you spend your most time with. I'm also in this chat room. My millionaire friend Alan is in this chat room. My multi-millionaire friend Pan is in this chat room. So we're all talking and discussing investments. It's a great chat room just to communicate with other like-minded people that have a lot of capital that are investing in cryptocurrency and the stock market. And it's 24/7 live chat room on Slack on your phone or your laptop. So this is James from Stock Guru. Join us in the chat, and I hope you like this video. Don't forget, hit the subscribe, the bell, thumbs up button. And it looks like Bitcoin will be going to around September 2028, hitting $1 million of Bitcoin, which is beautiful. So I hope you like this video, and I'll see you again tomorrow.